Okay, I've started a live broadcast. I'll wait just a minute for everybody to, at least for a couple people to join me in here. What my whistle? Here we go. Getting people starting to arrive. Just good morning to all. See my hair nice and neat, huh? Okay, today is Friday, March 31st, last day of March. Tomorrow will be April 1st, um, April Fool's Day, and my dad was born on April 2nd in 1932, and I was born on April 3rd. So my dad used to make a joke: 3 April Fool's Days in a row. Oh, good amount of people here. Good morning. Good morning. Got Sig and Jack and Bev and Renee and Fred and quite a few people here already. All right. Uh, Beautiful day again here in sunny South Florida. Sunshine, 77 degrees, and I don't know what the outside humidity is. Uh, I did send a dial my calls. Most all of you that are on here should have gotten it. If you didn't, uh, we have our 3-inch main line coming out of our water system back there. We noticed that we had a cracked coupling, and we had planned on replacing that this summer. But Chris went back there this on our regular morning check of the system, and the that cracked coupling was leaking, and so therefore we had to felt best that we do it today, because if that thing blows apart while we're not here, big mess, because the high pressure tanks hook directly to it. With a 3 inch of water, just probably within 5 minutes, that the 5 to 10 minutes, that tank would be empty and our pumps would all be running, and not a good situation. And almost over 10,000 gallons of water spewing out at 45 pounds of pressure would not be good. So shortly here, their break is at over at 10:15. They will be shutting the water off at 10:20. Hopefully you've already drawn water in buckets, so that if you have to flush your toilet, you can flush your toilet with that. And let's see, maybe I didn't silence my phone. Let's do that. And I'm getting dings on something, so doesn't look like anything important. All right. Hi, Vicky, Fred, Jeanette. I understand. I saw you post something this morning that maybe you're heading back today or tomorrow. So we'll miss you. Um, Another thing that, like I said, the water will be going off shortly. Hopefully, you've already drawn some water in case you need to flush your toilet in the meantime. I warned everybody it could be an hour or two. Hopefully, it isn't anywhere near that. The guys have got everything lined up, prepared, but it is a spot where we can't put in double elbows. The pipe has to be exact right. You can't really move it because it's 3-inch PVC and does not move very easily. Okay. And so therefore we have a union, and it's several cuts, and hopefully it goes right back together in good shape. So be there. Don't forget also, well, good amount of people, 25 people. Uh, Hit that like button. That helps us put this our engagement out to all the people that are get notifications from our page. Helps the algorithm for the Ancient Oaks Facebook page. Not that I think that anybody else needs to see my face, but it just helps with getting the communication out. I've had several people, and we've gone through it before, that come in and say, well, we didn't get the information, didn't know what was happening. And I tell them, these Facebook Lives, the web page, you have to be a little bit proactive and engage with, especially for the Facebook, you have to engage with us for them to put messages out to you. But to dial my calls, once again, get on that. I may not be able to put a full message on the dial my calls, but I can tell you to go to the web page, or I can, there's getting the information and uh, making videos, I guess, to put on YouTube to get out the information. So please avail yourself the information, but you do have to be a little proactive on your part to know what is going on. To send a letter to your address, but even when we send out letters, a lot of people don't get the letters, or the mail is very slow in getting them there. So anyway, there's a couple more people on, Sandy and oh, uh, Jeanette says I was supposed to leave this morning, but wanted to be here for Blue Stream information, which was postponed. We're sorry about that. The gal that comes apparently was involved in some type of auto accident. Must not have been too bad because they expect her back to work on Monday, and therefore but uh, must have been just a little bit of something. Excuse me a moment. I'm going to turn the fan on. It's getting warm in here. Okay. Other besides the water being shut off, the tree trimming will begin on Monday. The lift is supposed to arrive Monday morning, and Francisco and the crew and Chris and all the guys will be trimming all the trees in the park, probably starting at the back end, going in a pattern so that we hit everything as we go, all the trees as we go, and hitting nothing else. And therefore, that'll get the trees and we'll be ready for hurricane season. Uh, how we have those informations while we are heading back home? Well, the web page on your phone, Jeanette, or watch the replays of anything that I put on Facebook, or go to YouTube. Probably be easier to find it on the ancient. Subscribe to the Ancient Oaks YouTube channel because we don't put nearly as many posts on there, so it'll be easier to find the lives and whatever else we put on there. Whereas the Facebook page, you might have to scroll down quite a bit because we do post more information there. That would be one suggestion. Uh, Hopefully, when the Blue Stream, uh, when you're out somewhere else, I haven't got confirmation yet that you'll be able to get in the community channel where you're at, and rolling through that. And I reckon that I could make a video of what's scrolling in the community channel and get it back and put it on the YouTube. Probably can do that. That would be one way of getting the information. So, yeah, YouTube. Looks like we may have to use that, and as long as we don't make any mistakes that YouTube would cancel our account for some reason, don't want to slip up and whatever. They come up with all sorts of reasons. I know one time for our church, I posted something and I forgot to. I didn't realize that it did in the mixing of it, the video didn't have any sound, and somebody reported. I assume reported it because my YouTube channel was shut down. All my anything Google was. They just said, okay, nothing. You can't do anything. So no email, no logging into any Google accounts, and they did straighten it out. But yeah, all right, enough of that. The Blue Stream update. I'll pass on what Andrea had sent to me, and I'm not speaking at the microphone, so it might be hard to hear. So let me get the folder and over here. The latest email that she sent to me, was on, the 24th. That was Monday. Of course, we were supposed to have the session. We did have flyers, but the checks, people are receiving the checks. But I also have a folder here Got 10 of them in it so far, of checks that are going to be reissued. Oh, okay. DD says that on the Facebook page, you can select just videos and get to the videos. Uh, but also, if we do like I said, the community channel, and we have just the information, I wonder if Facebook would let us put that video up on ours. They might or might not. I know the YouTube will probably be able to. But either way, we'll try to do both where that scrolling information that we put on the community channel, we'll try to maybe once a week, then also put it on the Facebook or YouTube. I think that might be a good plan that to get done. But you pick the videos on Facebook and just have the videos. People have been receiving the checks. We had tried to turn in many of these, the good number of these checks are just because it was made out to the husband, which that they have been, husband is deceased and is still in their name listed first in our system. We are correcting all of those, but I know we sent the listing to them, but once again, from the steps that I had to take to get to the people, apparently didn't make it and they just went by the original list. So I am emailing that information to them. We'll see how quickly they can turn that information around and get new checks issued. But if you did close your box, the checks will have to get returned to them because they didn't put us as the return address, which we asked for. And so it'll get to them, but I have contacted the, her name is Marwa. But anyway, we will insist that they collect those checks there and they have somebody run them over to us so that we can either mail them out or have you pick them up here for whatever reason it can be. We can put a correct address on it and get it to where it should be go. If there is a second, okay, Barbara has a question. Will they get a new list from the office? Yes, we will give them a new list. The problem is being able to put the northern address on the check because once again they are issuing the check by the address here in the park, and if we change your address, it's not tied to that address, which the account will have to be, your second address. I don't know if we can put northern addresses on it. About the only other way would be to try to get them to give them a list of checks to hold and bring here, and we put your northern address on it. It's going to be a little bit of a stinker on that second check. We will do the best we can, and on that. Oh, something I didn't put down on my list. I'll remember to folding. Had it on my mind, but to get on my list. Okay. Okay. On that, we'll do the best we can to get the new list to them, but it'll be hard, like I said, put the northern on it because then they'd have to match up the name with the property, and a lot easier for us to do that because they don't have access to our system on there. Okay, if they, what does DD say? If they have their forward, yeah, if you forward your mail, you're going to be good. Just take longer. But if you just blocked your mailbox, and then any mail going to it gets returned. I know a few people do that because that way they avoid their mail going back and forth. They still just have their mail delivered up north. Because imagine if you're up there 9 months of the year, that doesn't make sense to move it for 3 months. And however you've taken care of it, we will get through this somehow, get it taken care of. But we will make sure everybody gets their check in one way or the other. All right. We did have the voting on. We had our board meeting Wednesday, 2 days ago, and the budget was adopted, voted on by the board, and so the proposed budget is now the actual budget. The monthly, not the monthly, excuse me, quarterly payment is 544, 2176 for the year. And those, of course, it's due on April 1st. And then April 1st, then it's July and October and January that the quarterly payments are due. I don't have it in front of me. I hope I listed the dates correctly. We will send a statement out here this month for April, and I'll have the 4 coupons in it. But that's basically all the mail you'll get from us unless you're late on the other quarterly payments. So please be aware of that. Put that, get yourself some type of reminder to make your quarterly payments so we don't have to send out the late notices. And there is a $10 or $12.50 for the late fee if you're more than the 15 days late. Okay, on the voting at the meeting, we did get enough votes for the amendment, the amendment to the declaration passed. We're in the process of getting that all recorded and set, and we will. There are some people I didn't get to talk to them individually. That I did talk to one person, Audrey, came in and asked if there's a way, and I have the list because we have a master list of everyone who voted. That's how we check off that the vote doesn't get in twice. So there is a list that we can come up with of people that have not voted. We will find a way of getting a phone call to them, asking them to get their votes in so that we have a better representation of everybody in the park. Because with only around 410 ballots cast, that is it is a majority of the members, but it's not anywhere near even 75 to 80% participation. So we're going to have some calls and try getting everybody to get their vote in on the amendment and then also on the alterations. So there we go. I imagine about now the water's gotten turned off. So folks, sorry about that, but like I said, we wanted to get this start working on in the morning in case it took longer than expected so that you have water for the weekend. But we also did not want to, once that thick crack started leaking, we knew that it could go anytime. And like I said, it would shoot out the 10,000 gallons in a very short amount of time, flood stuff, and then don't know what time of day or night it would come in, and we'd be doing it under pressure. So that's why we were doing that repair today. We had hoped that it would last till summertime when we had far less people here, but it did not make it. And that is pretty much, unless anybody's got any questions on what we have going on and what's happening. That as far as my updates, we, like I said, the summer will be trimming first, and then as usually in June, we have to start what we call the rainy season here, wet season, hurricane season, and grass coming sometimes just jumps out of the ground. The guys are full-time busy and getting that taken down, kept up. We will continue. Chris and sometimes Francisco will be helping with all the other projects and the maintenance of several areas. I've got a couple guys to choose from as far as replacing Adam. And it's just so sad that we had to do that, but we do have to get our crew back up to the staffing levels we need. And Fred, Fred's got a question on once the water's turned on, especially because we know it's going to be off. I know it's going to be off for more than 50 minutes. And we are going to have to reduce the pressure just about to zero. There will be a precautionary boil order listed, but we are above ground, and that's basically if everybody's got their vacuum breakers on, whatever, backflow preventers. It's a precaution in case when the water pressure goes down that people don't leave their hoses hooked up and connected without a backflow preventer. That water sitting in the hose could get back into your lines. If you're going to cook with it, um, we have never had a test come back where we said that bacteria in the water, just to be aware of. We are going to say you should boil your water, but that is all. Like I said, we've never had a time where it came back and said, no, you got to keep the boil order on. You got bacteria. We will be doing pulling, the U.S. Water will pull a test and that. But our water system has really been very safe. But as a precaution, you should boil water. If you're going to drink it straight, I would definitely use water that's been treated. There's either boiling water or many of the reverse osmosis systems that provide your water for you have the UV light. If they got the UV light, which kills bacteria, then you wouldn't need to boil it as long as you have a good UV light system that will kill the bacteria in the water. But that will be a precautionary boil order, I'm sure, because I know they won't get it taken care of in less than a half hour, and that's the pressure. And being where it's at, the pressure has to be all the way down to zero, so there's no water flowing on their joints that they're trying to glue. Because these joints have to be glued very well, because that's where the pounding of the water might happen as water is turned back on, or all of a sudden there's usage and that. So, but yes, there will be a precautionary boil order. I'll put that out on the dial my calls, email, and all that, and it should well, it's a weekend with their labs and all that. Hopefully they'll have somebody to check the things on the, and I'll let the U.S. water guy know to pull a sample. So that's where we're at on that. I hope I answered that question for you, Fred. All right. Any other questions? Like I said, you get your check that you can't cash, bring it up to the office. We will let Bluestream know that it needs to be reissued. And I believe on all the ones I have here so far, the address is good, just the name is wrong. If the address is, like I said, if it gets returned to them because your box is closed, then that's going to be a different process. Don't know how long it'll take. We will do the best we can and get that straight to you as quickly as possible. And I guess I'll say if there's anybody that this creates a financial hardship for, uh, please contact the office and we'll try to figure something out so that it won't be a financial hardship on you. Okay? We will protect our residents as much as we can. All right, 40 people on here. As not only on you folks in your live, it doesn't cost anything, so easy to do. Hit that like button on both Facebook and YouTube. Uh, you can comment on either one. And Joyce, if you have a reverse osmosis system, some of the newer ones, uh, and it's expensive because you put that on, they have where the water flows past an ultraviolet light in there. That ultraviolet light will kill bacteria. Our water machine has one of those on it, and that's how they protect your water. Almost any water machine has a UV light. So that is what is a UV light for your water system. Otherwise than that, uh, it's a precautionary boil order. Like I said, we've never had a test come back that there's bacteria in it. We have a very safe system, and we do our utmost to make it continue to be safe. And Barb, I'm not sure. I don't quite understand that question. How long have you had your store? Not sure. Um, I don't have a store. Ancient Oaks doesn't have a store. Uh, Good morning, Riley's. Um, if you would maybe restate that question if it's something I need to answer. I'll get to it, but I don't quite understand about how long have we had our store. All right. Um, have I got all the, like I said before, I go through these comments. Sometimes Facebook is funny, and just like I know one time a voicemail I sent, somebody called and no voicemail I sent to somebody. They returned the call and said they just got it, and it was 2 weeks later. The providers sometimes are slow at getting the voicemails to us. I have spot my station when the International Space Station goes overhead. They must not be getting those out on the good time, and my provider, many times I'm getting them a day after it's already happened. Okay, make sure I've answered any of the questions so that I see them. If I don't see the question on the comments, you know, and if even though you can be commenting live when I'm doing it, and I don't know if they don't push them on through, uh, which I can do. So I will not ignore anybody's questions. Uh, yeah, I in fact I talked with Heath the other day from Bluestream. This is a question that Jeanette had, and yes, we are going to make sure that your Comcast cable is continued to hook up so that if you can receive your Comcast internet. So that will be taken care of. Ah, here we go. There's a Lisa says Easter potluck sign up sheets in the clubhouse. And let me look at my calendar. That is the 9th. Palm Sunday is this Sunday, and Easter Sunday the following Sunday. So potluck, Easter potluck, you're going to be here and want to enjoy the potluck that's going to be happening in the clubhouse, sign up, please. And you know what? Yeah, talk to Kathy. We just, as our family, don't know what's going to happen with our family, and maybe I'll be joining it here. Okay, and thank you from Jeanette. All right, I hope everybody has the okay. There must be something. I assume you're supplying the ham. Everybody else bring a dish, probably. Is there a certain dishes you want, or are you just gonna? Hopefully, you get what you need. Salads. Okay. Yep. Sign-ups in the clubhouse. It probably has on there what you should prefer to bring. If they prefer. Otherwise, it's going to be just potluck, huh? Whatever ends up in the pot, be lucky to get it. All right. Once again, I'll mention again about hitting that like button, hitting that. You could even love it. That's okay with me. And you can comment afterwards. The way Facebook works is pretty hard to go over. And if we have a Facebook guru in here, maybe sometimes come up and show us maybe the settings on the what we've got wrong on the settings for the page so people can post to it easier. And there we go. Well, you have a great day. Hopefully, we get the water on very soon. And in fact, I'm going to go down there and see how they are doing. And y'all take care. If you're traveling, safe travels. Be careful. Don't get in a rush. Don't drive tired. Avoid any type of road rage. And we want to see you next season. If you've headed out, stay healthy. And there we go. Live long and prosper. You all take care. See you on the next one.